You've seen all those conditions displayed: procrastination, fear, anxiety, and all of those conditions are mental. They have to do with your ability to concentrate. Because of these conditions, your ability to concentrate is very bad, and the conditions just keep getting worse. Now you have seen the clock, the Dohgon diagnostic clock. This clock is extremely powerful. It works with numbers just like every other clock, but you've seen the flow of the numbers. Now, the Dohgon diagnostic clock is a meditation system. And what is meditation? To meditate is to communicate within yourself. Meditation is an internal communication within yourself. So, if you have these problems, procrastination, anxiety, fear, doubts, insecurity, lack of confidence, lack of motivation, and all of those problems, that means you are not communicating within yourself effectively. You are a bad internal communicator, meaning that your left brain is not communicating with your right brain, and your corpus callosum is in fact creating distraction triggers. You are constantly being distracted, and because of that distraction, you can't even listen. You are always getting off the point. You can't argue sensibly. You always are running your mouth without making sense to yourself. So you get nothing worthy done. You got to change. And this is the solution right here. The Dohgon clock. Get this clock now. You got to get this clock. It comes along with a workbook. Now, the next page that you're going to see here, I'm going to show you waves. I'm going to show you just 3 basic waves. How these waves actually affect the way that the communication that I talked about between your 2 brain hemispheres, how they affect those communications. 3 different kinds of waves. And so when you get this clock, we make the connection between the numbers that you see going up and down, and they are all timed. For instance, this particular clock game here that you see, meditation clock you see here, is timed for 15 seconds. So you time yourself, and you're supposed to synchronize yourself with the numbers and then the time. Believe me, you will fail. I tell you now, you will fail, and you will produce an awful wave. I will show you the waves in a minute. And when you see those waves, you convince yourself that this is the meditation that you have been looking to do. This is the meditation that you have been waiting to do, and that no other meditation that you have ever tried in your life will ever come close to the Dohgon meditation, because it is practical. It is the clock, like the watch you have on your wrist, the clock that you see when you go in any public building. That's the same clock you got sitting inside your brain. I am only making this real practical for you. So you take that clock now, put it inside your brain, and you start to tick, tick, tick. And so your procrastination will go away, your fears will go away, your lack of motivation will go away, your every problem, you will heal yourself. You wouldn't need any drugs. Yes, because there is science. We the Dohgon, we don't speculate, we don't give you theories, We give you facts. And those who don't believe us, they go and prove us right. And we don't spend a nickel, a dime, but they spend billions of dollars to prove us correct. We have done that many times in history, and we'll continue to do that. Now get this system now. Let's go to the next page so I can show you the waves. Now take a look at the waves. Now I particularly want you to pay attention to the funny looking wave that's just going back and forth and back and forth. That's the noise wave, the noise that you have inside your brain, the chatter, the chatter that you have in there, the constant talk, the talk that you have inside your brain. That is what you see right there. And so what happens is that as your brain keeps talking nonsense and rubbish, all the things that just keep running back and forth, the movies that you play inside your brain, the movies, you're constantly playing some kind of a movie inside your brain, and you don't even realize it because you are so much comfortable with it now that it creates that feedback. Now what you see, the wave that you see, the funny looking wave that you see over there, is a feedback noise. That's the noise you have inside your head. That's why you get nothing done. That's why you don't have any focus at all. That's why you can't concentrate, because the noise won't let you. The noise inside your brain won't let you. You are traumatized and you don't even know it. It's a trauma. Your trauma is going back and forth, picking up some kind of a noise from one memory. Your memory 10 years ago, that comes forth, and then you play around with it, and then another one comes that you had yesterday, and then another one comes that you had today, and then you go back again 20 years back, and then you keep going back and forth and back and forth. That's your life. You know what? Most people can't deal with this. Sometimes it becomes so hypnotic to them that even when they are driving, they just completely lose focus, they lose where they are going, and that's it. Bam, bam, bam. They cause accidents everywhere. That's why they are so anxious. That's why they are so much agitated, so easily agitated. You can't pick up a conversation with them. You look at them, you want to have some kind of a conversation with them. They are angry. Well, why are they angry? They don't know. You ask them, why are you angry? I don't know. The noise, the feedback noise. The feedback noise is giving them the distractions. So get this noise off your brain now. The clock, the Dohgon clock, we do it. And this is how we do it. Look at these other waves here. Look at these sinusoidal waves, the ones that I marked with the degrees, 90 degrees, 15 seconds, 180, and so forth. And then you see the voltage and then the current. Now, when you get involved with the workbook and everything, I explain everything about these waves. The current that you see, and then the voltage. The current that you see here, as you right here with the wave that you see, where the one of the waves is down in the negative area, and then the other one goes, the one on your right hand side, the waves in the red. Now what you see here is the concept of focus and concentration. The voltage gives you your focus, and then the current is your concentration, and I will explain to you exactly how these two work so that they are synchronized. Right here, in diagram B, like you see, has a delay, and it's this delay factor that gives you the hesitancies, that gives you the doubts, because your concentration is delayed, your focus is running, and then your concentration is dragging its feet. So the clock, this Dohgon clock, will solve that problem. I tell you because I know. Now the wave that you see, the one A, the two of them are synchronized. You see, the current and the voltage, they are together. So that means that people who have this working inside their brains, they will function. They are stable. They don't have anxiety problems. They don't have depression problems. They don't have fear. They are like me. So that's how my brain works. You see, the diagram A is how my brain works. So you keep dragging yourself. You have those doubts, procrastination. Diagram B is how your brain works. In fact, gets worse. It gets worse when we get down to these other waves here now. Yeah, the square waves particularly. Well, this is what the square waves do within your brain. Because what creates the square and the triangle waves are in fact the sinusoidal waves that change. They change. So when they change, they form the square waves and also the triangular waves. But the triangle waves are not that bad at all. They are not that bad at all. It's only the square waves that you have to be concerned with, because the square waves, they transition real fast. But when they transition, they create ripples. They create ripples, and so the ripples create a ringing effect inside your brain. You see? And so, like I was saying, you have those movies playing back and forth inside your brain. You have those square waves inside your brain. And so your child who is suffering from ADHD, they have square waves. You with ADD, you the grown up with ADD, you are working on square waves. You the addicted person, PTSD, your brain is working on square waves. Get the clock. Get the Dohgon clock and solve this problem now. The numbers will solve this problem for you. Now, let me tell you how this will begin to happen. You look at the triangular waves. The triangle waves, they transition fast as well. But the good thing about them is that they don't have the ringing effect. So the way that they transition, you can see the angles here. Now you can modify those angles, but the angles are pretty sharp, and so they don't create those ringing effects at all. So the triangle, or the pyramid, which is basically what the triangle is what in fact comes into play to solve your problem. You see? And so once the triangle, you develop the triangle waves, they act as filters. They are filters. They filter the noise out of your, they filter that clutter, that chatter, the chatter noise inside your brains. They filter that chatter noise out of your brain, and so therefore you are able to begin to think properly. So now eventually you begin to develop the square, the sinusoidal waves, the one I talked about, A, and so you are fine. You come back to being normal. You have a happy life, a joyful life, and so forth. I'm Professor Momo. Get the clock. Get the clock. Get the clock. Go to my website, dohgonuniversity.com, and get the clock now. Thank you. I'm Professor Momo.